Okay, so this video is going to be about small wins, small victories, and how I think they're incredibly important when you are battling any kind of mental illness, be it, the list is endless. I just try to stick to what I know, which is borderline bipolar. There's some anxiety in there. Now I get to throw postpartum in the mix, so that's super fun. But I honestly think for anybody that is battling any type of illness that can't be seen, and you're fighting the good fight, I think learning how to recognize and give yourself credit for small wins is monumental in building and making stronger your self-worth and your confidence. Because a lot of times when you're, especially with depression, right? When you're there, it's hard to just get out of bed in the morning, let alone get a to-do list a mile long done. So I'm going to talk a little bit in this video about that, about small wins and how to make sure we're giving ourselves credit for them, and where I kind of learned that from, because I have a couple people in my life that have helped me or encouraged me to continue to do that. But first, I'm going to show you what my small win is going to be, although it doesn't feel that small. It feels like gigantic. So I got home from Texas, actually, if I'm going to be honest, 2 days ago now. And I'm going to show you, with just putting in the next video, because I don't know how to flip my camera around, what is still in my living room, and trying to find time, which should be now, but instead of unpacking, I am making a video that I will not even post today. I'm going to post it in a couple of days because I just posted one. But I'm going to just show you what I am working with here. So I'm going to stop this, show you guys that, and then I'll pick back up. So you see what I'm up against. That's embarrassing to show, but it is what it is, and that to me will be a huge victory when I get it taken care of. Which some people will watch that and be like, just unpack, it's not that big of a deal. But anybody who's ever experienced an ounce of exhaustion or mental illness can relate that that's a huge feat. As I mentioned in the intro of this video, like, when you're struggling with a mental illness, just putting 2 feet on the ground in the morning can sometimes be huge, right? A huge win. So where I get this small victories or small wins as a part of a tool, or as a tool, started with actually my Aunt Monty. So I used to really struggle. The depression piece was real prevalent in certain parts of my life of my bipolar. I spent a lot of days in depression, and everything gets away from you when you're there. Everything's messy, things pile up, and you just don't care. I mean, taking a shower, come on, like, that's like, really, do I have to shower type of stuff. Sorry, as per usual, I am feeding, and so it's hard for me to move when my glasses fall down my nose. I should probably just start filming in my contacts. But anyways, I digress yet again. My point is, so my Aunt Monty used to really help me see that it's okay that every day I'm not a champion, that some days if I got out of bed and I put some clothes on, cool, that's a win for that day. And tomorrow is a new day. And tomorrow I can set out for another victory or 2 victories. And that was a big deal for me when I would spend so much time in depression, because then what happens too is you start feeling guilty. You start feeling bad about all the things you're not doing when you have a million things you need to do. And when you have a child, okay, now it's even multiplied. You have a number of things. Now, when you have a kid, obviously there's things you have to do, depressed or not, right? And so that actually is a win for me, because it doesn't matter. But then that means all the other stuff, like unpacking that suitcase that I had, is going to take a seat on the back burner, if you know what I mean. So the other example that I wanted to talk to you about the small wins, small victory thing, I actually was a boss that I had at my last job. Really special person, just has a good light around him, and it's infectious. But I was going through something. Actually, if I'm going to be honest, in my current relationship, we were kind of having a rough patch a couple years ago. And I wasn't eating because my win was getting to work and functioning and hiding it from work. And my boss at that time would encourage me to eat, knowing that it is a necessity. And it got to the point where when I would finally eat, he would put it on the board, our win board that we had at work, our victories, our wins. We would count them as wins, and he would put it on the board. And at the time, it seemed silly, but of course I put it up there, right? Because I did overcome the feeling of not wanting to eat, not wanting to really be. And I'd put it up on the board. And not in itself, right? This is my boss at work, and he's telling me to put on the win board like that I ate a pita pit today, or I ate a pita. But subconsciously, it totally worked, because then next thing you know, I was eating. Even if it was a little bit, I was eating every day, because somewhere in my head, I was like, that's a win. I can count it. I can take that. And so hindsight, I didn't realize how impactful it really was when he was supporting me in that way. But it kind of just really feeds into this small victory. And when I say that it helps with your confidence and your self-worth, it does, because it's the opposite of what we do when we don't feel like we're accomplishing the things we need to. If we're giving ourselves credit for just getting out of bed, or for my case, unpacking that damn suitcase, which just looks like a baby exploded in here, or a baby store, I should say. But giving yourself credit, or, writing that one paragraph on your homework, or, whatever, I was going to say the book you're writing, and that was a reference to my Aunt Monty. Whatever the case is, learning to say, hey, you know what? Today wasn't my best day, but I have these wins. Over time, they build up your confidence, and they build up your self-worth, because you stop feeling like a failure, or you stop feeling like overwhelmed because of all the things you're not doing. And you can kind of start to focus on some of the stuff that you are doing, and really starting to feel good about that. And then the next thing you know, you're doing more and more, because instead of giving in to the sadness and the darkness and staying in bed, you said, hey, you know what? I got up today, or I showed up to work today, or I managed to smile at least 3 times, even though all I want to do is cry, or I went for a walk. I read a book. I took a bath. I took a shower, like whatever it is, it looks different for all of us. But at the end of the day, as simple and as easy as it sounds, really, really, really being mindful of the small wins and the small victories can be a game changer for you if you're fighting some kind of mental illness, or even exhaustion, honestly. Because right now I'm in this weird place where I'm not even sure what's happening. I don't know if I'm tired. I don't know if I'm depressed. I can't figure it out. So all I could do is keep moving forward, whether I'm moving slowly or quickly, and whether I'm up to par or up to speed with where I want to be, doesn't really matter. What matters is that I take the time to give myself credit for the things that I'm doing when doing is hard. You know what I mean? So anyway, I tried to keep my boob out of this video. I'm going to rewatch it and make sure, but she's eating, so it is what it is. It's the easiest time for me to make a video is when she's eating, because otherwise she's got my full attention. So more to come, and hopefully there's people out there watching this that could connect. And she's squirming, so I gotta go. See you guys later. Oh, don't forget, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and share with your friends if you think they can get anything from my videos. It's been fun. Thanks. Bye.